Birds say when his cage broke down. The same thing my dad does. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Now, whether you're a cheapskate yourself or someone else is, you probably know one. Well, in my household, my dad is the cheapskate. Every Monday morning, we go shopping together. He calls it father-daughter bonding time. Now, the first thing we do is go grocery shopping. Now, being the cheapskate that my dad is, since you need 25 cents to use a cart, what does he do? He looks for the charitable-looking person or the innocent victim who is already returning the cart so that he can ask for it. So not only does he get a free cart, but he also gets a free quarter. Voting! We go into the store and I'll say, hey Dad, can we get some fresh fruits and vegetables? And he'll say to me, 1 second, darling. And he'll go through his 50,000 flyers and sales, which of course are in alphabetical order. And he'll say, sorry dear, we can't get it, it's not on sale. But don't worry about it, we'll go to the used goods section and the day-old foods and see what we can find. So he'll start picking out the rotten tomatoes and the bruised bananas, and I'll say to him, I don't know Dad, those strawberries look pretty moldy. And he'll say, oh honey, you just chop that part off. Saving. I'll say, I don't know, Dad, it still don't look too healthy. And he'll say, listen, I've been doing this ever since you were a little girl. Have you died yet? Well, after going grocery shopping, what do? We hit the thrift stores. Now, that's when I put on my shade and hats. Why? Because we don't just hit the thrift stores. Oh, no. My dad has a route through the neighborhoods that are having garbage day. And he goes scavenging to see what he can find and collect. Sometimes we even end up racing the garbage man to get it before the garbage man can. Now, once we get to the thrift stores, I have my own job now, so I buy my own clothes. But my dad used to offer to pay for them for me. So I'd go and I'd say, hey Dad, how's this look? And he'd say to me, well, where'd you get that from? And I'd say, well, I got it from the dollar rack just over there. And he'd say, oh, well, that looks great, dear. You know what? Money is not an issue. So I'd go and I'd get something else and I'd say, well, how's this look, Dad? And he'd say to me, well, how expensive is that one? And I'd look at the price tag and be like, $3? And he'd say, well, what do I look like, a money machine? Thrift stores would also have specials. For instance, fill a bag for $1 day. Jackpot! My dad would take the opportunity to stuff that bag till it was overflowing, a huge mountain. He'd put it onto the cash register, and the cashier would take one look at it and go, oh, sir, that looks like you got enough for at least 2 bags worth. And my dad would look at her like she's insane and say, what? That's ridiculous. It's just air. Don't worry about it. Here's $1. So, after going grocery shopping, thrift store shopping, what would we do? Well, he would always take me to a nice restaurant. McDonald's. And he'd say to me, baby, you can get whatever you want to, as long as it's within $1.29 on the special menu. So, week in after week out of going to McDonald's, it took years until my dad finally took me to a different place. Angel's Diner. I sat down, we got our waters with the little ice going around, got the menu, looked at all the delicious food. The waitress came over and said, sir, can I help you? My dad looked at her and said, yeah, doesn't it say kids eat free here? And the waitress looked at me and back at my dad and said, well, yes, sir, but that's for kids 12 and younger. So my dad looked at her in disgust and said, what? Well, in that case, I'll take my business elsewhere. Come on, honey. So back to McDonald's it was. But you know what? At the end of the day, don't get me wrong. Cheapskate or not, my dad's the best. And if there's one thing that I'm truly grateful that he taught me about, is how to save and budget my money. You know what? So well, in fact, that that's how I get to pay my own education. Thank you.